Hello and welcome back to Bridals with Daughters YouTube channel. So in this tutorial, I'm going to continue with the wedding dress we started, and this was the back inspo I used for the wedding dress. And right here, I'm going to be showing you how I cut the back of the dress. Right now, we have our material folded into two. Remember, it's the back we are cutting. So I will make my normal basic pattern measurements on the dress. So this time around, if you see the expo we are using, it's button that they use, but right there we are using zip, and that's why we put zip allowance. I use 1.5 as my zip allowance, then I mark my back, which is 7.5 plus ½ sewing allowance. So after I'd marked that, I'll just come down to my chest line and then form my armhole, just as you see me do. Yeah, after doing this, the next thing I will do is mark every other measurement on the back. So our bust, as I said, is 36, and then we have corsets. We have our corset as 10.5, so I'm marking out the 10.5 right now. After that, I'll mark my under bust length, which is 13, and then my half length, which is 15. The same thing I did to this side, I will do to the other side too, so that I will have a straight line. So I mark 10.5, 13, and then 15. So that's basically the measurement, and then I'll make a straight joining of the lines, just as you see me do. So after doing this, the next thing I will mark is my remember, for the front we use 8 as our gap. I mean our nipple to nipple, which is 4.5 while divided into 2. So this time when divided into 2, this time around too, for the back that I'm going to use 4. And remember, we are using zip. We've already marked 1.5 as our zip allowance plus 4. That makes 5.5. Then ½ inch as sewing allowance. That's 6. So I'm marking 6 out on each point. Next thing I will do now is make my round measurements. Our bust is 36. So 36 divided by 4, that's 9.5. 9.5 plus 1.5 as our zip allowance, that's 11. So I'll mark 11 and then add 3 inches as my sewing allowance. The same thing, I'll come down to my UBR, my under bust round, which is 30. 30 divided by 4, that's 7.5 plus my 1.5 zip allowance, that makes 9. I will add 3 again, so I will add 3 to my sewing as my sewing allowance. The same thing I will do to my half length, which is 30 also. So I've made the mark. After this, I'll just cut that out as you see me do. I'll cut it and then leave it. I won't finish cutting it because of the peculiarity of the back we are using. So what I will just do is extend my gap line to the upper part of the dress, as you see me do. So I've extended the gap to the neck. So after doing this, the next thing I will do is to make that cuff, that part that you will have net on the dress. I will come and then mark 8. The 8 that is my chest line, that's still the same 8 that we'll use. So from that 8, I will come to, before time I had marked 4.5 on the armhole. So that's where the curve will extend to. I hope you can see what I'm doing. The chalk is a color chalk, and this is the material that we use, that will sew. So that's why I'm making it light on it. I don't want it so that it won't stain it. So on that 4, I made the curve from the 8-inch chest line to the 4.5 inches that I marked on the armhole, and then that's what will form that circular curve that we'll have at the back. And so I'll cut it out just as you see me do. So after cutting this, now I can finish the cut I started initially at the armhole. You remember I stopped while cutting it. So remember that after we cut our back, we cut it in U shape, and then we cut this out. This was how it was initially. This and this was our full cloth. Then after we cut everything out, we had this as our cutout, our continuation. So this is what we'll be using to cut our tool net. So I just decided to show you so that I won't confuse you. So I've cut all the linings needed for both front and back. What I will do now is, and we made our front canoe neck. What I will do now is keep this and use it to cut my tool net. The next thing we will have to do now is use our continuation to cut our tool net, and that is what we'll do. Now I have my tool net here. I'm using normal vein net, or they also call it bridal net. So now what I will do is, remember it's two sides. So I will fold my net into 4. Can you see it? I have it folded into 2 initially, then into 4. So that will serve as both the clothes and the lining. So I'm cutting everything together. At the end, I will have 4 pieces of this. I'm trying to straighten up everything so that there won't be unnecessary fold inside it. So after I'm sure that it's well folded, I'll just take my cutouts, my continuation cutouts. You can see the way I placed it. Now you won't cut the exact stuff you cut out. You must make sure that you put allowance so that when you are sewing it, you will have. Now for me, I added 1 inch allowance to round the continuation. So I hope you understand what I'm doing. This is just for you to be on the safe side after sewing, so that you won't have shortage in any form. Right now, guys, we have our continuation well cut out. I hope you understand what we have done so far. So I'm leaving that what we used to cut it out aside for now, and then I want to arrange the tool nets well so that there won't be any fold or rumple before we cut or after we cut it. I will have to do it separately so that we'll have it well folded. The peculiarity of tool nets now, it can be funny. So I want to make sure that everything is well folded and there is no rumple or any fold. After I've done this, I'll pick what I used to cut it out. I'm still using the same thing to cut the neck. So I'll just place it on it like we did initially while cutting it out. So in cutting the neck, for our front, we made use of 5.5 width by 3.5 depth. It's still the same 5.5 width we are going to use here, but this is coming up after the zip allowance. So I factor in the zip allowance, then after it I marked 5.5. I don't want us to get confused. So for this we are using 5.5 width by 2 inches, 2 inches depth, as you can see. So right now I'm going to cut it out, cut my neck, cut the neck out, and then make a shoulder slant, as you can see me do. So this is basically all that we need for the back. The net is well cut out now, and then the next thing we will proceed to do is sew. So this is basically how we cut it. Now it won't be plain. We are using this net to pattern. I just want to show you. Of course, I won't be able to show you how I patterned it in this video. Guys, I want to thank you for staying through to the end of this video. So those were the basic cuts we made for the wedding dress, and here is my friend here fitting the dress. Can you see how plumb everything is, from the breast points to the train and to the back, and everything is looking so beautiful. You can see it. Yes, can you see the back, the down part, the train is not spread, but there is beautiful. We have come to the end of this tutorial. Everyone, thank you for staying through. Do like, share, and make comment on this video. And if you are here to subscribe to this channel, please do well to subscribe, and see you in my next tutorial. I really do appreciate everyone for staying through. Bye.